Hi, Chris here. Making a video today because, unbelievably, yesterday this channel passed 1,000 subscribers. This video actually isn't about that, but I just want to say one thing. Thank you to all of you. I'm tremendously grateful that this little side project has gone way further than I ever expected at the start. Hitting the 1,000 mark means more than you know, and I'm not overstating it when I say that all of you bringing the channel to this point gives me the catalyst to change my life for the better. The 1,000 mark is really the first big psychological milestone on YouTube, and it's also one of the first numbers which, when you hit it, Google themselves treat your channel a little differently. Most people also say that getting from 0 to 1,000 is the steepest and hardest part of the climb. I've never seen any reliable numbers for the percentage of YouTubers who quit before they reach 1,000, but I suspect it's very, very high. Part of the reason behind that is that while a channel that has already reached a certain size and has attracted some attention will start to get help from the YouTube algorithm, which will send them new viewers, a creator that's just starting out doesn't enjoy the same advantage. Essentially, it's a rich get richer system. Lately I've been the beneficiary of this. I've gone from about 750 to 1,000 subscribers on the channel in the last few weeks, almost entirely on the back of algorithm-driven traffic to one of my old videos. Haven't even uploaded anything. The biggest struggle for a beginner on YouTube is how to reach the people who would like the videos. They don't get any help from the algorithm. One of the only assets that they have to get viewers is the power of word of mouth. We can all help with that. If we signal boost the new and small creators that we find, it can make a real difference. And that's what I want to do today. I'm going to share 5 channels who are punching way above their weight, who I promise are worth your time. 5 creators, each with less than 1,000 subscribers, who deserve way more. Now, if you're watching this channel, you probably have some interest in old games, and all these channels do fit that same profile: reviews, retrospectives, video essays, that kind of thing. If you like what I do, it's very likely you'll like these channels too. Check them out. Genova, documentaries and retro reviews with particular emphasis on Sega games and hardware.
In 1990, Sega started development on a new arcade board specifically intended to compete against Namco's System 21. Namco's board was released in 1988, becoming the first arcade board designed specifically for 3D graphics. 4 years later, and Sega had an answer with the debut of the Sega Model 1 in tandem with Virtual Racing. This game was so well received at the time that a whole line of games under the Virtual name would be released for years to come.
The Playing Field. Deep and fascinating analyses of game levels, full of understanding of the work of the designer.
But those are mostly agreed upon. You may disagree about whether or not those are good levels, but I don't think anyone would deny their levelness. So how about this? Or this? Or this? Or this? And I'm not talking about the surrounding area, I'm talking about the giant thing you're climbing on. Because the question of what is and isn't a level is actually a lot more ambiguous than people might initially believe.
Yesteryear's Mac Dude. Reviews of something most of us aren't that familiar with: old Macintosh games.
Exile. No, not that one. All that. All that. Jeez. No wonder the remakes got renamed. Exile, as I originally knew it, was a series of fantasy role-playing games for Macintosh. These games featured a small action window for seeing what was going on, lots of confusing buttons, a block of text, and some numbers. At least, that's how child me saw it.
Games D. Sharply written and snazzily produced video essays on games old and new.
With Nintendo losing the market interest against the Sega Mega Drive, and the incredible first impression that Sonic the Hedgehog made to consumers, this new title once again put Nintendo one step ahead of the competition. Using pre-rendered CGI for characters and backgrounds, not to mention a stellar soundtrack that made the most of the console's unique sound chip, even Nintendo's own efforts didn't match the fidelity of Rare's title. The first of 3 games in the series, the franchise would be amongst the console's best-selling games, and regarded as some of the finest platforming games of all time.
George Great. Quirky and wonderful retrospectives of old DOS games. A real hidden treasure.
Oh my god, this level. To say that it is iconic would be an understatement. Even if you have only fleeting familiarity with Doom, chances are you will still recognize this level. And as for me, it was burned into my mind. Even though it is largely subjective, there is a tangible reason for why this level feels so iconic. You see, this was the last level that Romero worked on in Doom.
Okay, hopefully I've just hooked you up to some channels that you hadn't heard of and that you're going to like. Now I want to invite you to do the same. If you know any great channels that are sitting below 1,000 subs, please post the links down in the comments so we can all discover them. Actually post them everywhere, put them on social media, send links to your friends, even make a video like this one. With good word of mouth, small creators can really be helped over that first hump, so please signal boost them whenever you can. I'm Chris, thanks again for helping me get to 1,000, and I'll see you again soon with more retro histories and more 12 in 12. See you later.